name is Scott Walker, and today I'll be talking to you about esports. In an article by Ryan Brandt published by CSN Philly last month, he reported that Comcast Spectacor, which also owns the Flyers, paid $20 million for a slot in the upcoming esports league for a game called Overwatch. This news is groundbreaking and informational, showing that businesses are, in fact, buying into esports. As a business management major, esports could be the next up-and-coming big industry that can come up in the next few years. This will provide unique opportunities for business majors like myself and others around the world to become employed, essentially. To understand why businesses would spend these huge sums of money on people playing video games, we must first have a general understanding of what esports actually is. We're also going to talk about marketing opportunities within esports. It's a little bit unique. And then also the future of esports. Now, esports, if you don't know, stands for electronic sports. Basically what it is, it's just a competitive framework for anyone who enjoys playing video games to play in a competitive environment, person versus person, usually not against like the computer. The ways they do this through leagues, tournaments, anything right now. Popular games right now, I'm not going to go into detail what they are. Just basically know that millions and millions of players play these games each and every day, and that's why they're popular. Games are played on mostly the PC competitively, but also on the Xbox. These are representations of what we call esport organizations. Now, you can think of them as franchises, just like the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, things of that nature. The esports organizations basically are founded by an owner, someone who decided to create it and get themselves out there. This owner will then develop talent or pick players from certain games to represent him or her with the organization in different titles of video games. Now, the difference between these organizations and franchises is these organizations don't have like a location. So for example, this one down here says Cloud9. They most likely don't represent geographical location like the Philadelphia Phillies or Philadelphia Sixers represent Philadelphia. Now, they are based in a certain location throughout the world. Obviously, they have a headquarters, but that's the main difference between our major sports and esports. The way that most esports work right now is they're governed either by the game developers themselves or by outside organizations such as this website. This esports network called ESL stands for Electronic Sports League. Basically, what they do is, if you can see, it's a one-stop shop for all esports. So they have news, TV, so you can watch different kind of esports programming, whether that's your favorite person playing or news on certain sports, as well as you have in the middle ESL Play, so you can be a part of their own leagues that may or may not cost money or generate any revenue for them. It's just a way to gather players together. And then you have ESL Pro. Obviously, those are professionals who get paid either through sponsorships or through the organizations themselves to represent one of those organizations we were talking about to play a certain game. Now, esports has the opportunity to generate revenue through unique strategies. One of the ones I was going to talk to you about, the way they can do this is marketing through consumer behavior. Now, most people who play esports are mostly our generation, Generation Y, Generation X, upcoming generations who are using online, social media, all that good stuff, a lot more than our parents and grandparents. So the way that businesses can market to them is through social media and other platforms. Obviously, esports is most popular with male millennials. Okay, if you can see here at the bottom, this line right here represents esports popularity through generations. So males 21 to 35, obviously more popular, 20% more popular than 51 to 65. Although for some reason they still have some kind of percentage. So I don't know if that's like some little kid watching with his grandpa or what. As you can see too, it's actually more popular than ice hockey for males 21 to 35, and almost more popular than baseball. Josh Chapman, a finance expert at Top Total, reported that over 380 million people watch esports both worldwide, online, and in person. To put that in perspective, more people watched the 2016 World Finals of League of Legends, which was one of these games that I put up, more than the Game 7 of the NBA Finals last year, which involved the Cavaliers and the Warriors to me, a pretty good game to watch. So more people watched that World Finals of an esport title game rather than Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Now, what's unique about esports is this website that gained popularity. It used to be called Justin TV back in the day, about 10 years ago. They rebranded and named themselves Twitch TV. Now, what this company does is basically any Joe Schmo can sign up with their computer and they can stream content directly to anybody. So think of it as Facebook Live, except just for esports. So some numbers here, 15 million daily active users. So 15 million people daily go on this website to watch people play different games. Why is that unique? Because people like these guys, professionals and not professionals, will show you their content, and basically you get to watch your favorite people that you follow any day, every day, whenever they decide they want to stream. Now, in the top left, you have this guy here. His name is, well, he goes by Persona, so he goes by Dr. Disrespect. He was a former collegiate player. He's got a wig on. He always wears glasses. He used to have a fake mustache. It's real now. But on a daily, I logged in. On a daily login, he had 23,000 viewers on this website. So think about 23,000 people watching you through your webcam just to play a video game. Now, obviously, he has a personality that he uses to attract viewers and other things like that. But the reason he does this is because Twitch actually has a partnership. So if you get a certain amount of viewers accumulated each month, they'll put you in a partnership. You generate ad revenue, so he gets paid for ad revenue, as well as they do have donations, which most people will do just randomly. So they get those donations. Obviously, they have to write it off at the end of the year. As well as Twitch provides subscriptions. So the subscriptions give you certain access to certain people, different unique opportunities there. But that's just to show you guys kind of how unique this kind of marketing can work. Down here, this guy here gets 4,000 viewers. This is actually an ad that rotates as you watch him. So you got him talking to you while he's playing, while ads are playing. So he's probably getting paid from Twitch, from donations, through subscriptions, and through ad revenue. Now this guy here, he's one of the pro players, so he's obviously on one of those sports organizational teams, so he gets paid that way. All four of these guys stream full time, so they're probably on right now creating content, allowing you to watch them. This obviously has a bright future for esports. As you can see, by 2019, they're estimating 215 to 212 million people will be watching. The general trend I see for the future is, instead of getting away from kind of that informal view of esports, they're going to move towards kind of how the NFL and NBA work, and NHL, whereas geographical locations will become where sports organizations exist. Those guys will develop talent, and then there will be certain seasons or themes. Right now, there are no seasons really for certain sports. They just go through year round, and then all of a sudden they have a finals. Like, it's kind of weird to kind of keep track of when people are playing, because it's not like the football is on Sunday, and things of that nature. Steve Borenstein, who was a former CEO of ESPN and NFL Network, says that he believes esports will rival the biggest traditional sports leagues in terms of future opportunities between advertising, ticket sales, licensings, sponsorships, and merchandising. So he sees tremendous growth, and that's, you know, a guy who's head of the NFL or the ESPN and NFL Network. Revenue growth is, to conclude kind of today, we talked about the opportunity we have in marketing, what esports is, Twitch, and the future of the sport really. An article published by Newzoo, who is this company that's dedicated right for esports research. It's where they got all this research from. They predict that there's going to be $1.1 billion in revenue in 2019. Therefore, businesses are identifying that the time is now to jump on the opportunity to get involved with esports. That's all I got.